Hello, I'm Dave Peach, and this is the Crawfordsville Peachcast, sponsored by Tri-County Bank, your community bank since 1892. See them in person or at tricountybank.net. Tri-County Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. Crawfordsville Peachcast. I'm Dave Peach. We are presented by Tri-County Bank, your community bank since 1892. And Dave Meyer joins us. Dave, who was the president in 1892?
Dave, it was a Hoosier. It was Benjamin Harrison, Dave. He has a home down on Delaware, if you're in the city.
He's from Indianapolis, right?
That is correct. Lived on what was the north side then. Now I would say it's the old north side. But yeah, Benny was the man in 1892. Do you think he might have signed something that brought Tri-County Bank into existence, possibly?
Maybe there's some history there. We want to also thank Central Indiana Rubber Products. They are providing the power for you. And at this time, we always say 1, 2, 3. Hello, Todd and family.
Yes.
David, they say that you never, they say that this is a lie. Like when somebody says the check is in the mail.
Yes, Dave.
Check is in the mail. And there's others, but yeah. One I heard yesterday, I don't know if it's not really a lie, but it's something that people say, and you can almost set your watch to it. Okay. We're talking the NFL football world.
Yes.
There was yesterday as we taped, there was a key miss by a kicker for the Buffalo Bills.
Yes, Dave.
And you knew that one of the 5 panelists assembled would say, don't blame the kicker.
The kicker. Yes.
Now, Two things, David, and I'll let you weigh in.
Okay.
One, that's not going to help the kicker.
No, he's
not going to help the kicker. And
it's like your parents weighing in at that point. You're a good boy.
And 2, know the guy's name. Don't just call him the kicker. He's got a name. Give him give his name out. I mean, come on.
Yeah, if he's going to be infamous, he needs, a full name, because Scott Norwood, Dave, in 2024 is still a known entity, and now probably how many inquiries, how many emails, texts do you think Scott received at a certain point last night?
That was one of the most wicked kicks I've ever seen, because it did look like it was going to go left.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Fred McMurray with a remote control unit veered it off to the right.
It was like a big wind came out of nowhere. And I wanted him to like for me, if I'm, ever playing golf and I'm probably going to slice if I don't whiff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, somehow I wanted him to aim left. Obviously this is a guy though that at that point had not missed a big kick for them right above like 40 yards. So they had all the confidence in the world, but history, Dave, sometimes can play a role.
Don't blame the kicker.
Yes.
And when you've said that, it's just, to me, it's like, then why did you say it?
Here it comes.
Why did you say it if we're not gonna blame the kicker? But that's our. I think would that be a better band name or book title? Don't blame the kicker.
I'm going with a band right now.
I think that would be a cool band name. Don't blame the kicker.
Don't blame the kicker, Dave. I like it. I think if somebody comes out with this, we will try to go after them. Just under the guys that they either picked it up here.
We came up with it first.
Yes.
Yeah, we came up with it first. So I would say kind of a rock band, kind of a, not jazz. I would say kind of a hard charging rock band. Don't blame the kicker.
And maybe they're from Buffalo to make it even more,
Yeah, that'd be a good one. Oh, okay, now I'm thinking about that. Yeah, maybe
a little too tight.
Maybe from Albany. Maybe they could get away. Yeah, Albany.
Syracuse.
Syracuse rock band out of Albany, Syracuse. Don't blame the kicker.
And real quick, one band I forgot about, and I believe they had a song that was playing in the gym today, Cumbersome. You ever remember that Cumbersome? Can you remember the band from Cumbersome?
Ooh. Dave, I am drawing a blank.
I have become cumbersome. It was 7 Mary 3.
Wow.
I didn't know. I'm like listening to this. I go, for one, I thought I have become understood. I go, no, it's not understood. What is it? It's cumbersome. And it's by 7 Mary 3. I was shocked. I thought maybe it was Stone Temple Pilots or Wallflowers or something like that, but it was 7 Mary 3, and I'm not sure how many other hits they had besides that one.
No, it sounds like a name that you would know if they had 2 hits, right?
Yeah.
And they must not have. But that's a 7 Mary 3. Okay.
Well, we've got that. We've got those out of the way. And today it's an Untoasted segment. We go back to 1979. Movie number 23 for us. It does not begin with the. It's a one-word title, Meteor.
Yeah.
And I got to say, we'll get into it after the break, but this movie does not pull any disaster punches.
No.
It is absolutely brutal what takes place. In fact, you do not want any way, shape, or form want to have a meteor coming at you if this movie is anywhere close to being true. We'll break it down after this on the Crawfordsville Peachcast.
Bazing. Wow, that's fun to say. Bazing is Tri-County Bank's Smart Rewards checking account. With Bazing, you have cell phone protection, ID theft protection, roadside assistance, discounts at area businesses, and more. This is Bria French. Contact me or any of our great employees to begin your entry into Bazing banking. Terms and conditions may apply. Tri-County Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Crawfordsville Peachcast. We are doing another Untoasted edition today with our friend Dave Meyer. It's Meteor 1979. It's not Gene Hackman. It's not Michael Caine. It's Sean Connery on the lead. His first appearance on Untoasted. Dave, we're happy to have Sean Connery join the fold, even though it's
It's post-Bond, pre-Untouchables,
but
right?
It's post. How do you say that? Posthumously or post? How do you say that he's not with
posthumously.
us? Posthumous.
Yes.
Thank you. You got it there.
So,
okay.
But Sean is gone.
Yeah, we do welcome at least the memory of Sean Connery on the Crawfordsville Peachcast here today with Meteor. We had Natalie Wood. She had a cameo in The Candidate. Carl Malden was in Beyond Poseidon Adventure. Henry Fonda, he was in The Swarm. We've got Martin Landau. We've got a $16 million budget. We have Brian Keith not speaking one word of English. He was in Hooper.
Yes.
So we have some crossovers in this movie. This movie, $16 million budget, 8.4 at the box office. It was not an Irwin Allen disaster film. It was nominated for an Oscar for Best Sound. What are your first blush impressions of Meteor?
Well, my first thought, of course, it starts out with kind of this funky thing where Sean Connery's like doing this Captain Courageous kind of thing that's happening. And then I'm wondering, is that his real hair, Dave? Or is that, the earliest stages of what he was working with later? No. At a very basic level, because I was thinking, like, how would you describe this movie? And it's, you want to say there's a 5-mile wide chunk of asteroid that's on collision with Earth, and we got to get some nukes fired up with the Russians somehow to take care of it. And oh boy, it's not going to be clean.
Well, I would think, kind of being on the planet this long,
yes,
that there would be a little bit more warning with the meteor coming to the planet. We had like 2 weeks warning on this.
Yeah, it was minimal. And you think, when they talk about light years of travel, it seems like it would be further away than, we don't have to get into this right now, but this is, I think in the absence of good special effects, they just made sure there were special effects that did take out a lot of people. And that was the theme here of that part of the budget, Dave.
Yeah, they did not hold back on the number of people taken out. Some we saw, some we were just told about, but
yes, that was a clever way in the Swiss Alps. Yeah.
Pretty crazy. So give us the premise of Meteor. I bet you that there are people out there that are smart enough to figure out what this movie is about. But just in case, enlighten us.
I would say, okay, folks, have you seen Armageddon? Okay, because that's probably the quickest way to get the general public there. If you've seen Armageddon with Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck and all those people, similar plot in that we got problems and we can't just sit by and solve them because they're coming at us from space and there's a timeline. So it starts out we get Sean Connery and we realize he's somehow important to NASA and has been summoned back. And then he is told, we find out that he left there 5 years ago. And basically what he is told is that there was a collision course, an asteroid was detected on a collision course with Earth. Okay. And as a result of that, they had to do something, or this 5 mile wide asteroid, which I did look up. I think it was, you can't even, it's meteor and asteroid are not the actually correct scientific terms because of the size of this thing, but I don't know what is. So this thing's coming. Sean Connery is our subject matter expert. Carl Malden is kind of the guy in charge of, I guess, the NASA version of this and communicating to the president or President Fonda here. And there's also Richard Dysart, I think, that used to be on LA Law and before that St. Elsewhere. He's kind of a part of the government management team on this as well. But what we come to find out when it's like, okay, the only way we can take it out was with nukes, and the nukes that we have in space, nobody knows about. So the military doesn't want to give away the big secret. But we also know that Russia has the same thing that they are not also claiming. So the premise is, can we get the Russians to go along with us, trust us, and do this? And that's where we get Brian Keith not speaking any English. Now, wouldn't you love when his agent calls him and says, okay, here's the gig, here's how well it pays, and all you have to do is learn how to sound like you are fluent in Russian. You don't have to make any sense. And
hang out with Natalie Wood.
And Natalie Wood's going to hang out with you, and she's not going to have necessarily a Russian accent.
And she's going to have she's going to have one facial expression the entire movie.
The entire time. Now, I will say this. Apparently, she was cast in this role, quote, because she was the daughter of Russian immigrants. But I think maybe those Russian immigrants didn't, have any accents when she was growing up, because I think it was closer to her West Side Story accent, Dave, than maybe the true Russian. But there was they created the hint of a romantic interlude between our Sean Connery Paul character and the Russian translator Natalie Wood character. That never happened. But she did get cleaned up one night, wore a nice scarf, and they had coffee.
Yeah. So it's not like Modine and Fiorentino, Cusack and Demi Moore, Brando and Kathy, Kathie, Sandberg and Fisher and Hot Rod. I've got them all listed here. It's
they're so good.
We only go to Kane and Sally Field, Curtis and Piper Laurie. Oh yeah, Tony Curtis and Piper Laurie. And
that's good.
Of course, I think of all these that I look at, the most unlikely, I got to go and we are gearing up for the Toasties coming up.
The Toasties.
Yeah, the Toasties.
Yes.
Is it Toasties that we agreed? Is that what they're called? The Toasties?
I like the Toasties.
The Toasties, okay.
It sounds attractive and bite-sized.
Odds are the most unlikely coupling would have to be Robin Williams, or least convincing coupling. I would say Robin Williams and Twiggy in Club Paradise. They did not really. I don't think the on-screen sparks were there.
No chemistry, Dave. No. I have to agree. There was that movie did lack in a lot of areas, but that one, come on, we should have had something.
Yeah, I got to say, I was also going to say, some of these people we'll move on from there. But
now we got Martin Landau. At first, he is let's say animated, passionate, and he is the negative force. He basically is saying you're screwing all this up. And then the first fragments that come in from the UK that they see in Italy are just like a light show, and they blow by and they don't land and nothing bad happens. And so then he says, basically, you're all crazy and I'm going to leave here because this is, not happening. So, of course, later in the movie, Dave, a very subdued general comes back. And I was they almost like let him off too easily, right?
It was that classic expert versus military that we saw in The Swarm.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, this general was bonkers. And, the Peter the Great is the name of the Soviet version of the satellite. Ours is called
Hercules.
Hercules.
Yes.
So it's Hercules and Peter the Great are how do we get it? And then I was at one point, President Fonda says, hit it, Mr. Sherwood, get rid of it. I thought, that's a little simplistic here. I think maybe it's a 5-mile wide thing that's coming. I don't know if it's going to be that simple, but hey, did you notice so we say Italy gets a pass, but then after that, right, the Swiss Alps was the next target. And it's like happy Swiss Alps music and people, right? And then you just know at that point that they're going to get hit hard. And of course they do. Now, and then
we have to say that this was a Meteor fragment or splinter,
yes.
or so yes. This was not the big Meteor, but along the way, there were places that got hit by these pieces of Meteor, it was major damage. Unbelievable things happened from just the fragment of the Meteor.
And they did one of the ways that obviously they didn't have they had the budget to do some shooting with a lot of people on the ski slopes, right?
Yes.
And then the way they worked around that Hollywood style is saying, just a few moments ago, our photographer took this footage, then jumped on a plane and flew away. So that's why we have it.
And then it took out 12,000 people.
12,000
contestants in the cross-country event taken out.
Simply coming out to get some exercise.
But we don't have any footage of that because we left before.
And then the next thing that happens is Hong Kong is going to get hit with 100-foot wave, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how that built up for quite a while. Okay, it would cut back and forth between the big wave and the people. Now we got this one couple that I we don't know, but he goes in, gets her, they get the baby, then he gets the dog. Okay. Then at one point, people are looting apples and art, Dave, as they're running out of Hong Kong. And I don't know. And then the big water came, and that was pretty much it with Hong Kong.
It mattered little. It mattered little what they did. It was brutal. And then the splinter hit the site where they were apparently safe, to
Now, okay, why do they
administer all
say-
this stuff. Yeah.
Is this an old term, Eastern Seaboard? Right? They kept saying it's going to hit the Eastern Seaboard. I had to look that up, Dave. Just means East Coast,
Yeah.
Maine to Florida. Okay. So it doesn't, in the end, it looks like it doesn't destroy all of Manhattan, but it hits part of Manhattan. Looks like in Central Park, and takes out the building that for some reason NASA has put this control in at some point. So New York is hit. The city's in shambles, right? Now, at this point, or at some point, did you notice that 3 times in this movie, for emphasis and I think a lack of drama, we would set up Sean Connery's face at a tilted angle and zoom in, Dave, and then we just stay there.
Yeah, why not?
And he doesn't blink, and it's like, wow, something big is going to happen because Sean Connery's eyes are staring at us.
Oh, it was, and after, I don't want to give away the whole movie, but after they had to stay in the bunker for a little while all this was happening around them, and things were coming down and sparks and all this stuff. But they had to stay hunkered down, and then all of a sudden it turned into an Irwin Allen type movie where they had to escape through the carnage that was left. And it was very similar to Beyond Poseidon Adventure, or When Time Ran Out, or the original Poseidon Adventure, or Towering Inferno. It became an Irwin Allen movie the last 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah. And it's like they somehow get through. They can't get out of the place that they're in, but they're able to get into the subway line. And then the river's coming through. And then what do we have there, Dave? You've got nothing but muddy actors. You can't even tell who's who for a little bit.
No,
right?
I mean, this movie, going from bad to worse would be an improvement.
Yes.
To the conditions that they had in this baby.
I will say this, Dave, at some point, and again, they're trying to explain things. So the radio station that they're listening to is located in New Jersey.
Another radio station. Shout out, yeah.
WADW, which is not a real radio station, Dave. And they didn't give a city. They just said WADW, New Jersey. So looked it up. But we've got with very dirty stars get through there. And I was thinking, as throughout the movie, it starts out, Carl Malden's in his hat, right? He's in his Streets of San Francisco American Express Traveler's Checks hat, which I kind of liked, and then maybe it was like, Carl, wear the hat. Because in the end, after you get muddy, they won't recognize you.
One thing about Carl Malden, when he plays a role, he's never surprised by anything.
No.
Never surprised by Patton, never surprised by Hackman and Beyond Poseidon Adventure, never surprised in this movie. Splinters coming over his head, meteors. Oh, we got the president. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm nothing will surprise me. Okay. I'm the guy that will not be surprised.
He will not be surprised, Dave. And I like Carl. You got to love Carl Malden. I believe, and I have to check this, Carl, an Indiana-born person from the region in the Gary area, I believe.
And Dave, we always ask, you have anything else on the movie? I mean, we hope people can watch it. We hope people can, you'll enjoy Natalie Wood. You'll enjoy Brian Keith. You'll enjoy Sean Connery, Martin Landau, Carl Malden. I mean, if you want to watch the old guard, give it one more try.
Yeah.
Watch the Meteor.
Yeah, it was. This was in the latter part of what would have been the sweet era for the disaster movies, which I would say kicked off in 1970 with Airport, and then the early 70s were probably the more commercially successful or critically reviewed versions of this premise, which we don't see a great deal, but it still comes around, right? In some form or fashion, it's still there. But normally, these days, a little better special effects. I will give a little background. Is special effects wise, the person that they first hired, they fired. Then they hired a team that was going to reshoot as many as possible with the money they had. Guess what happened to them, Dave?
They ran out of money?
They were let go.
Oh.
Let's say they were also fired, Dave. So finally, okay, we bring in this other person. Two more people came back, and they had, with what was left, they tried to do as much as they could. But as you might have seen, the nuclear missiles in this thing look like bowling pins, okay? And they're flying through the air. So there are a few, things like that. The New York Times Review said, this is a fine warm-up to a movie in which the terrible, hurtling menace of the title looks like a big hunk of week-old bread.
Okay.
Now, I'll give you one more from that same review.
Where did they print that?
Yeah, where did they print that, Dave? Ronald Niami. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. In fact, I'm sure I'm not. But he was working for Irwin Allen, and he did the Poseidon Adventure, okay? So that's the director of this movie, where he wasn't working for Irwin Allen and didn't have Irwin Allen money, Dave. It says he accompanies each bad missile shot with theme music that sounds a little bit like She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain When She Comes. This plus the fact that the missiles look like undernourished bowling pins, considerably less formidable. So I came up with the bowling pins on my own, Dave, but I don't think that was a stretch, as that's what they look like.
You were backed up.
I was backed up. Now, Dave, I enjoyed watching this movie. I don't know why exactly. It went by fast. The confidence. Like, 1 minute we got, Sean Connery's flirting with Natalie Wood. And I'm like, but didn't we just kill about 12,000 Swiss people? And it just seemed the cutaways back and forth. What about at the beginning when Carl Malden's explaining this, and the guy who watched his kid die is sitting there because they're talking about the first NASA astronauts that got blown up from the first fragment. So it's a back and forth drama, if you like it or not. It's got lots of drama.
Yeah, we have seen that. Slim Pickens, remember, in The Swarm?
Oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, he didn't see it, but we had some emotional, we had a little emotion there from Slim Pickens. We didn't see it. We didn't see it there. But it is 1979. It is Meteor. Got a couple of other things to talk about regarding this movie. It is on the way next. Segment 3 of the Crawfordsville Peach Cast is next. Central Indiana Rubber Products provides the power for you. Central Indiana Rubber Products, or CIR, keeps farm equipment and local manufacturing processes running with gaskets, belts, seals, and O-rings, among a variety of other products and services. Employee-owned and always customer-focused. Central Indiana Rubber Products, 989 West, 83 North, Crawfordsville, and at indianarubber.com. Central Indiana Rubber Products, or CIR, power for you. Crawfordsville Peach Cast, it's segment 3. Meteor 1979. A few things to wrap up Dave Peach and Dave Meyer. One, Dave, the 80s was a decade that saw many movies, many performers reach out to the Soviet Union in an effort to end this Cold War that had been going on since Kennedy was president in the 60s. Am I right, or am I right?
Absolutely, Dave. The 70s was a big
then
big
the 80s. But then the 80s was when we actually reached out and we ended the Cold War. And this movie was kind of a precursor to that. I look at the movie Rocky IV. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yes. What did Stallone say at that? And we was with you and you was with us, or what did he say?
I don't know.
He was like, it was some emotional plea, like, I don't know. I can't remember.
Let's come together. Yeah. Apollo's dead.
Something like that. Well, this was at the end of the fight with Drago. But correct me if I'm wrong. Billy Joel had like an HBO concert in the Soviet Union. Yeah,
he did. He went over there, I think, and because he would open it up with "Back in the U.S.S.R." Right, and it was a lot of reaching out. I remember the James Brown song That was in the Rocky movie. That was kind of a, I don't know. We were reaching out in lots of ways. There was what's the gymnastics movie I'm trying to think of that had a Soviet kind of come together.
I
thing.
remember. Yeah, you're throwing some stuff out there. Did Bruce Springsteen have a Soviet time, or is that like a Mandela effect kind of thing?
The one I remember the most is Billy Joel.
Yeah, I'm going to say Billy. I'm going to drop Bruce Springsteen out of the conversation. I'm going to drop Bruce because I think that must be something in my mind. We had also War Games.
Yes,
which
perfect, Dave.
Which was a tie-in, and of course the comedian Yakov Smirnoff. Is that right?
Yes. Russian, American been very, very good to me, Dave.
Yakov, is that his name, Yakov?
Yakov Smirnoff.
I think his first name was...
He's still working.
Well, I think what he did is that he watched Johnny Carson in the 70s, and every time that Carson did one of those waiting in line for toilet paper in the Soviet Union kind of thing, I think he wrote all those down. And he developed a 45-minute comedy skit around all of them. We have to wait for toilet paper. And it's like all this stuff. And I love this country. Well, I love this country, right?
I love this country, right. Okay, when was Moscow on the Hudson, right? That was probably about this time.
But Meteor in 1979 was way ahead because this was actually the Russian and U.S. military agreeing to work together for the common good. And this was 1979.
It was good. I mean, I think in that regard, too, it was a positive. And Brian Keith, like I bought him as a Russian scientist guy because he kind of, I don't know, the way he looked, whatever. I had trouble with Natalie Wood as a Russian, but Brian Keith,
for me, Brian Keith was a little tough, but it's okay. It's okay.
Uncle Bill, Bill,
and from Hooper. Don't forget Hooper.
Yes.
Then at the end, the movie kind of started with a 6th grade film opening. I thought
it gave like some backstory of what is
a meteor.
Time. Yeah.
And then at the end, it threw this at you, Project Icarus. Icarus. I'm sorry, Icarus.
Okay.
I don't know how to say these things. In 1968 at MIT, a plant, and this is what appeared on the screen. In 1968 at MIT, a plan was designed to deal with the possibility of a giant meteor on collision course with Earth. The plan is called Project Icarus. And that's how they left it.
And that's how I think it was trying to say, look, this is legitimate. This could happen. I wonder what happened to Project Icarus.
Hey, if it's MIT, it had to be up there.
Okay. Well, we're hoping, Dave, that we don't have to do a real life version of this at any point.
No.
We're hoping that, Indiana's not on the high value crush trail of most meteors.
Okay, you ready to pick out some next movie?
Let's do it, Dave.
Okay, let's see what we got here. What's on the short list? Dave Meyer. Here we go. I'll let you pick it out. I'll let you pick it out. Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore.
Okay.
Ellen Burstyn.
Yeah, I think she won an Academy Award winning, I think.
Being There with Peter Sellers.
Okay.
The Freshman with Matthew Broderick and Marlon Brando.
Yes, Bruno Kirby.
We'll throw one more in there. How about Matthew Perry's Fools Rush In? You will pick our next movie, David.
Okay, Dave. I am
Alice, Being There, The Freshman, the Fools Rush In.
All these, we've got some good ones coming up, Dave. I'm going to say, let's go with Being There.
Being There, Peter Sellers. I am looking forward to seeing that because I don't think I've ever seen it in its entirety. So we'll go with Being There, and I'll say number 2 is going to be The Freshman because I want to see what Brando looked like in that movie.
Yes. Yes, no, good choices. Being there, besides, let's see, Shirley MacLaine. I'm trying to think who else is in it besides our star.
We'll do that one
Peter
next,
Sellers.
and then the freshman after that. So if you want to watch it in advance, you can. Dave, I will say this: don't blame the kicker.
Don't blame the kicker, Dave.
Don't
Not in Buffalo,
blame the kicker.
Not anywhere, because it's easy to do though.
We
right?
win as a team, we lose as a team.
We win as a team, lose a team, but when they kick and miss, it's a lot of cutaways.
It's brutal.
And a timeout. See, that's the thing. Some of those big drops, like you're cutting and they're back on the field, and then there's another play. So it's almost we ruminate over those kicks, right? And it just lasts a little longer in your brain. And then you think, well, I want to blame the kicker, Dave.
Yeah, I think the most famous cutaway, at least here in this area, has to be Vanderjagt.
Yeah.
And that was Tony Dungy.
Yeah. That was the last we saw cutaways of Mike Vanderjagt.
That was it, man. They brought in Adam Vinatieri after that, but it was a tough one. Maybe that will be maybe this
could be the fate.
Maybe now things will turn around for Buffalo after they've had this
right. And people
horrific experience.
People are looking at it in similar terms of, what we enjoyed with the Colts and the Patriots. The Patriots or the Chiefs are kind of the modern day Patriots kind of right now, at least with the quarterback that does well in the playoffs and a very experienced, head coach. So we'll see. We will see.
I am off to look up Project Icarus, and I just hope that no meteors are on the way.
We can't handle them. And maybe if we get crazy, we can do Armageddon in a year.
Meteor 1979. Hope you enjoyed it. We're back with another episode on Apple, Spotify. Check it out. Like, share, subscribe. We love you. The Crawfordsville Peach Cast, presented by Tri-County Bank, your community bank since 1892, and Central Indiana Rubber Products, providing the power for you. 1, 2, 3. Hello, Todd.
Thanks for listening to the Crawfordsville Peach Cast, sponsored by Tri-County Bank, your community bank since 1892. Tri-County Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. I'm Dave Peach. Join us every Thursday for a new episode on Apple or Spotify. Please like, subscribe, and download the Crawfordsville Peach Cast. This podcast was produced and edited by Up There Media and is a presentation of Fork Broadcasting Digital.